Giant Robot started in 1994 as a zine. It was staple and fold, low budget, and I guess just all fun. Maybe there was a lack of stuff that was out there that I thought was, I don't know, that fit me personally. So I thought, well, why not create a new publication that just at least sort of chronicled the things that I was into. Martin was involved making the magazine. He wrote in the very first issue and then became a co-editor, maybe on the third issue. We wanted to make something that really resonated in people, and it had to start with ourselves first.
Giant Robot was just like, around. It's like something you picked up in the first time ever. It was like focusing on Asian American pop culture.
That was like a beacon of culture for me in college. It was like, who else is doing this stuff?
At the time, I don't think there was anything else like that, especially focusing not only the Japanese, but the Asian pop culture, films, music, art.
Through Giant Robot, I discovered so many of my favorite comic book artists, illustrators, and visual artists.
It was just a hobby, right? It wasn't a job, or it didn't really pay or anything like that for a very long time. I think the idea was, well, how can we make it pay? And then that was maybe thinking opening a shop was part of it.
When I started going to UCLA, I moved to Sawtelle Boulevard, that area, and there was a store that opened, so I would go down and look at all the art books that they had at the store.
Giant Robot sort of became my informal art education alongside me studying fine art at UCLA.
First art shows were at the retail store. Because those worked out kind of fun, that's when we opened this space. It became an art gallery just by virtue of finding a lot of artists that I thought were worthy of being shown but didn't have a place to show.
I didn't know much about galleries, but I just knew Giant Robot was cream of the crop. So I remember when I was still a student, I was like, all right, I got a show here too eventually.
You don't have to be a big name for him. If he just likes your work, he'll show you.
Eric's brought a lot of different young artists. Some have had their first shows here and gotten, really big.
There's like artists that have come through, then there's like younger artists who are influenced by those artists that are now showing here. It's kind of fun. I get to see a new generation of artists all the time.
I heard about Giant Robot for ages, so yeah, it's a pleasure to be included in the show.
One day, Martin contacted me if I'd be interested in having an article written about me for an upcoming issue. And of course I was like super stoked because I'd been following the magazine for a while. And ever since then I felt like I've been a part of this like GR community.
This is like a place where people gather and you make friends and then you just kind of become like this close-knit family.
There's this family of artists that will show up, thick or thin, artists they've heard of or not heard of, they'll still come to the shows. And they know that they'll see each other. I think that matters.
Every time there's a show, even though I live kind of far, I try to come out to see.
For me, it feels like every Giant Robot opening is kind of like a friend throwing a barbecue.
In a good way, like I feel like we are like a little bit of like a misfits group.
It's kind of like home in a way, right? There's a real comfortable vibe.
It is a true community, and it includes so many more people besides artists, which is maybe my favorite part.
My mom owned a restaurant. I was like a busboy there. Almost every opening, she'll bring food. They cook it at the house, my parents' house.
It's the best opening food available on the planet. Margie kills it.
It's really Japanese. I miss my mom's food, but when I eat her food, I feel like I'm eating my mom's food, so that's good.
It's just nice to be able to eat like home-cooked meal at the gallery openings, because I don't think anybody else do that.
At the end, we all feed each other. Kind of cool. I never really thought of it that way until now, but I think that's what happens. If it's a family here, that means the artists that kick ass and sell a lot of art are sort of like helping that one who's not selling a lot of art. It's like everyone's kind of helping each other, but they kind of just don't know it.
It's good to to have a good gallery that really cares about the artist.
I can trust him, so it's hard for artists.
It's just nice to have a friend who take care of your art and take care of your shows.
Giant Robot has been part of my life since I was in a formative stage as an artist. It's been wonderful to grow with it.
Even with the magazine kind of gone, at least with the store and the gallery, he's still doing that. He's featuring these new artists.
I feel like Eric has done so much for the Asian American community.
I'm really proud to be part of this whole Giant Robot family.
Making good friends with a lot of the artists who I just like, they're like family members. So I think having that is almost key to lasting a long time too, right? It's not even about making money, it's about these relationships, and I think that's where this new culture kind of begins.